Hear ye, they are not like us. Hear ye, they all be making a fuss. The crash daddies told us that the car did not hit, and Trooper Paul couldn't make any of the physics fit. Free Karen Reed, hashtags be flooding out our feed. Justice for Officer John O'Keefe. Free Karen Reed, hashtags be flooding out our feed. 'Cause we all know that Lexus don't have no teeth. It's obvious that Colin A was in that basement, but the MSP never even took his statement. 34 Fairview, the lawn is so small, but 11 people even saw nothing at all. Free Karen Reed, hashtags be flooding out our feed. Justice for Officer John O'Keefe. Free Karen Reed, hashtags be flooding out our feed. 'Cause we all know that Lexus don't have no teeth. Adam Lally, he drones on and on and on. Can never hold a candle to Alan Jackson. The pirouettes, bang bang, I'll fuck you up. The lending of the readers and the red solo cups. Free Karen Reed, hashtags be flooding out our feed. Justice for Officer John O'Keefe. Free Karen Reed, hashtags be flooding out our feed. 'Cause we all know that Lexus don't got no teeth. Juliana Nagel said she saw a black blob. Along came Canton Lucky, he was just doing his job. He took the stand and he stood his ground. So tell us why that Ford Edge has never been found. 220 Tesman, she made that search. Hose along to die in cold, turtles even got merch. Was it raining then, or was it actually snowing? And what the fuck was Brian Higgins' white Jeep plowing? He's got no game, he made us all cringe. JJ Jen McCabe, well she is clearly unhinged. Free Karen Reed, hashtags be flooding out our feed. Justice for Officer John O'Keefe. Cockade, the apron, kill me now. High top tables, basketball, and a Frankenstein plow. 1210, crystal light, and the nether cracker. Get off my fucking lawn, Life 360 app tracker. Free Karen Reed, hashtags be flooding out our feed. Justice for Officer John O'Keefe. Free Karen Reed, hashtags be flooding out our feed. 'Cause we all know that Lexus ain't got no teeth. Free Karen Reed.
Oh, Deja Vu Shorties. Oh, hi. Like, hi. Not gonna lie, I fucking had a wine. I don't even care. It doesn't even matter that it's 11 a.m. I poured a wine. I'm like, I've been up since midnight. What even is time? Today's been a lot. Like, today's been a lot. So don't worry, I've only had a few sips, but could be a whole new Camp Shorty. I'm joking. I've stopped now. Oh, hi, thanks for coming back, everyone. Good to see you. The dogs are like, we're doing this again? I'm not even sure. I don't know, man. Part 3, y'all. So my battery's at 38%. It's charging. I started the last stream on 6%. I thought it would just charge. So we should be right for a while. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. When this one's done, we're fucking done, chat. Like, we're done. I love you all so much. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, mods. Ms. Shelley, Pokemon, has already sent me the timestamps for part 1. Amazing. Thank you. Fuck. Like, fuck. Oh, NH Dude just said it, commented on part 2, going, sorry, I missed part 2. It's all right, Steve. Come to part 3. Jeez Louise. Hi, Rach. Hi. Hi, Holly. Good to see you, Candy. Hi. Nicholas says, oh, good. People drink wine every Sunday morning in church. I reckon there's a reason for it. They're like I said before, fuck my actual life. Something's got to give. Vapes were not giving me the give that I needed, the give of the give. So that, oh, like, oh, this. I feel like we should just be hanging and banging at this point. Like, what? We've done more streams today than we've done in the last 3 weeks. Hi, Britt. Good to see you. Did I say hi, Laura? Hi, Simi. Shelley, hi. Hey, girl. We're going up against the big guns right now, so it'll be a small but intimate chat. We're showing our we're showing our perseverance today, shorties, and I'm so proud of you. Hi, Cheryl. Good to see you. Part 1 and part 2, replay crew, will be linked in the description box. It's just a whole internet thing. Streaming is dynamic. We're never done. Well, that's what it feels like, Brooklyn. There will always be something. Like, literally. Yikes. This could go feral. Could. Happened, Lisa. There's a poll. I was just going to say, how much do you love me, Miss Shorty? And I'm like, that's a little bit egocentric. Let's make it Camp Shorty. Oh, it's a good idea, Ms. What the fuck? Chat. So, vapes, wine, beers. Yep. High colors. Feral Lisa, feral shorties. I'm mostly always feral. I'm generally on my best behavior until the last minute. So, hi, Butterfly. Good to see you. It's a trilogy, a Camp Shorty trilogy. Laura says, my mum used to have the 4 C's: coffee, cigs, chocolate, and Coca-Cola. Candy says, Dave, vapes, bongs, and edibles. Lol. Well, I'm glad I'm in good company right now. Don't get me wrong. I think about wine a lot. I usually don't do wine before we're streaming. Akasha. I feel like I influenced that happening. Akasha says, hey, I just broke my mirror in 2 places. It is what it is. Glad you all came back for part 3. Same. We here. So I'm going to put my glasses on so I can get serious about shit. So replay crew, hi replay crew. If you would like to watch whatever's going to happen in chat on your handheld device, be that an iPad, and let me check my battery. A 37% phone. We're all good. We're good. We got this. Tablet. It's easy. All you do is swipe left on the comments tab and it'll give you the option. There it is. Thanks, Printy. To watch the live chat replay instead of comment. Having said that, love you to also leave a comment because comments push. Is push the right word? Comments signify to YouTube and comments back signify to YouTube that this is worth commenting on. Say whatever you want. Say Miss Shorty's a lush. Miss Shorty's a lush. She drinks wine at 10:30 a.m. I don't mind. Nick says I'm sober. At the gym, I'm sober. I shall be the percentage for Camp Shorty. Healthy decisions on this live. Wine is good for you. Yeah, man. It's yes. We're doing the best we can. I changed over from this charger to this charger because this charger's faster. I don't have a charge. I can't charge in my charging port because it doesn't work anymore. That's fine. The other thing about getting the algorithm's attention is hitting that floating heart. I don't know. Algorithms, I think it is. Get the algo's attention. Yes, the flying heart next to the chat bar sends a similar message. Simi says, we've been on our best behavior all day. It's quite possible there may be feral behavior. I advocate very strongly feral behavior. Grass is green enough. Says, I have to wait until after work for a proper beverage. Eventually it will happen. Excellent. Wine has electrolytes and shit and antioxidants. It's fluid. I'm being hydrated. What's going on is my phone is working overtime. Once it gets to a really low battery percentage, it says I'm let's call it electrolytes as well. The phone says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my sweet time on recharging because you push those boundaries. And thank God for Nick. I was looking into it, says colors. And there are recommended settings that help with the algo. Sweet. Nick, you are not appalled. I reckon Nick's actually in his robe. Julian Cass. Oh, good. I love it. I love it. That's what we need. A troll. How so, sir? You forgot your apostrophe. Just saying. How so? How's she guilty? Interesting. Interesting. Give us some of your reason behind that. We welcome all opinions. That's all it'll be, though. It won't be based in fact or science or data. So hit us with your facts, sir. I presume it's a sir. Yikes. A cord would be faster, but unfortunately I've fucked my charging port. Absolutely. This is a very fast charger. It did really well. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I love everything about today. Everything. Yes. Antioxidants. I literally ran my phone out of spoons. It's like, this is hard. What you're asking of me is hard. And you saw the doc. Who else could it have possibly been? Oh, I mean, I'm going to say it was Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, and Colin Albert at 34 Fairview with their fists. That everything is fine. Like, everything is fine. Julian, everything is fine. You saw a documentary, a docuseries? Oh, they're usually so based in fact, too. Absolutely. I think we can have electrolytes and antioxidant. We do adapt. We pivot and we adapt. Nick says, I'm not in my robe yet, but I'll be properly tied so the mouse will stay in the house. Phew. Like, phew. Phew. What, Doc? What's up, Doc? So anyone who thinks she's guilty is a troll? No, but you came in like a wrecking ball, sir. It feels real trolly. It's troll-like behavior. But I want you to substantiate. So you saw a documentary. What in the documentary made you feel that she's guilty as hell? Come on now. Come on now. You got to back it. You got to back it. You got to back that shit. You can't just come in. Hi, Tony. Good to see you. Thanks for joining again. Part 3. Bring facts, Julian. Facts, not fuckery. And I accept that. Excellent. You can stay. We love conversation, but you gotta back it rather than blanket logical fallacy comments that aren't actually based in anything except misinformation and bias. Come in and give us some reasons. We love to talk about it. We quite often have debates around here. That's okay. I'm also fond of the camera. Look at me. See? Hi. I talk a lot. I run my mouth a lot. But I doesn't mean I've ever killed anybody. And so Julian, what about like physics? Like let's talk. Oh, thanks. I'm very pretty. Thank you. Smart and pretty. That's me. Let's talk about Officer John O'Keefe's arm. His arm. Please explain to me, like science-based, from like a plausible reason as to how any human being could be even clipped, let alone mowed down, by a 6,000-pound vehicle that then doesn't leave a bruise other than some kind of fingerprinty things up here. No broken bones. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. What did you do? Did you somebody block him? Jeez Louise. God damn. Chat, I mean mods. Oh, we are open to conversation. I'm here for the physics and the math and the conversation and science and physics and stuff. Oh my goodness, Laura. 4 months with the best people on YouTube. Thank you. Love yous. It's literally been 4 months just tonight, today. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ah, chat. No, Julian Cass. Have you watched either of the trials or just the documentary? I'm just asking out of curiosity to understand you better. Don't worry, Colours will be on it. It wasn't me. Tainted evidence creates reasonable doubt. That's right, Butterfly. Colours didn't do that. Interesting. Oh, Curious Lordship is back. Thank you so much for gifting 5. That's really kind of you. Amazing. We're on Struggle Street at the moment. I haven't monetized any of these streams. We're on part 3. So every little bit counts. Thank you. So Shelley, Poke, you had enough. Had enough of Julian. Julian be creeping on Miss Shorty also. We don't love it. We don't love it. We can't talk to him now. We can, he just can't talk to us. Lol. Who we got? The shallower the angle of attack, the less force imparted to his body. But the shallower the angle, the less likely any car damage is to occur. Tony, right? So I can imagine that a strong force that was enough to break polycarbonate, mind you, would shatter the taillight and shatter John. A glancing blow isn't going to shatter the taillight. And yeah, it's Julian. I was looking forward to Julian giving us some facts, but never mind. I don't think he had any. Come back, Julian. Tony, we love you here. We do, Tony. Yes. Yes. Okay. So you need to hear opposing views in case there's something you missed. It can never be an echo chamber. That's everyone else's shtick. Yeah, I love it, but Julian had nothing. Julian, it was the creeping on Miss Shorty that earned him the timeout. Right. Smart and pretty. Oh, Red Metal's here. Excellent. Wait, I see hi Red Metal, but I can't see Red Metal because brain. Tony says, oh yeah, if that taillight breaks into pieces, so would John. I mean, there'd be a little bit of bruising, right? A little bit. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you. I wore my Rehome the McAlberts t-shirt on my Uncivil Law guest spot with Kurt earlier. It was pretty cool. I felt all out of whack because I was on my phone. Anyway, it is what it is. Did I say hi, Candy? I think yes. Okay. Shall we it's no way to win friends and influence people, is it? For Julian to come in hot with her, she's guilty as hell, and then a few other things, and then creeping. Tony says opposing viewpoints are great as long as there is substance there to have a conversation about. Just shouting into the void isn't helpful. Exactly. We don't need no straw man fucking logical fallacy bullshit. We don't need them. It's not helpful. That's what people who don't have any basis for what they're saying use logical fallacies. So fuck. I wondered earlier, says Akasha. Tony P. Could a cocktail glass thrown into a taillight just the right way cause it to shatter or at least crack, like when I dropped my phone on cement? Well, Akasha, interesting you ponder that. Remember how Arca built a cannon specifically to fire a cocktail glass at a taillight? I don't think so. I'm wondering about that glass in Officer John O'Keefe's nose that Karen spoke of in that most recent clip that Hanky played. I mean, I believe she was saying glass, not plastic. I think she would have said taillight, and she wouldn't have said taillight because that didn't happen. I wonder what that was. So many questions, less answers now than ever before. Colours says the fact that her tail light won't light up without those diffuser pieces, case closed. Yes, I remember now. KKK. Akasha, you and that phone. LA, hi girl, initial twin, good to see you. I think he might have been carrying the glass for protection if he felt there might be trouble. I think Officer John O'Keefe was like he was shaping up for a bit of trouble. I think he was just he was probably just holding it. I don't know. We can speculate all day long. Oh no, Steph. What are you voting? There's a poll, by the way. Steph, a lot. Who's voted a lot? Rude. I'm joking. Princey asks, who else feels a bit worried after the end of Friday? I felt like this. Yeah, I agree, Tony. I agree. I think he wanted to drink it. I think he just happened to still be holding it. Steph, I thought we were married. Colors says, Prince, it's really bad. I don't know if it's really bad. I think that, I don't know. It's not great. What happened at the end of Friday isn't great. Bev's a piece of shit. There it is. Akasha, annoyed, not worried. Dream team, do not fret. Strongly agree. Nick's a font of confidence. Same, Steph. Today hasn't helped. I'm not gonna lie. Today's been a little bit stressful. Hey, shall we watch some stuff and we can just go where the conversation takes us? Akasha says, you know what else isn't great? I lost my drink. Fuck. Friday was a gut punch. Yes. Not fun ending on ending the day with the week with that. Just irritation and like teeth clenching shit. Thanks. I'm fine. It's fine. It will be fine. Everything's fine. I feel for bloody what the fuck. Motion to scream what the fuck back there. Having to cope with me and my brain. Whew. Mr. Poke was watching Vinny. Vinny says the jury is very young. Young is good. Young is good. Strongly agree. Kurt from Uncivil Law said he's trying to get Court TV to play OnlyFans. Imagine that. I'm sure you've heard me say it already 3 times today, probably 4. But gee, it was a moment when at the end of the Uncivil Law Mark Betterow stream, when there was still 4.1 thousand people in the chat, yikes. And then Kurt played OnlyFans and I started crying. I was like, no. It was so overwhelming to think that, and he played the whole thing, to think that 4,000 people were fucking banging out to OnlyFans. What a sick experience. It was like I was at a mad rave with my own music. There's barely any trial next week. Yeah, which days? Thursday's a day off, right? Exactly, Shelley. The jury didn't end with the motion. Shit. Good point. The voice of reason coming from Shelley. Thanks. Pause in the chat. Applause in the chat. Dirty applause. And also, oh my God, my scrolling game is off more than ever. This. You know what? So motion to scream, what the fuck, granted, what do you reckon? Chat, what do you reckon? Do we want to watch it? Let's go back to that Bob and Ali reacts. I don't know, man. I don't even know. So fractured. Thursday, half day, Friday off. Oh, hey, shorties. That means that next weekend we might get a minute to, we could do our recap of the week. Wait. We could do the recap of the week in one night and have a therapy night. What do you think? We could do that. We'll talk about it. I don't even know. Fuck, I can't even get this shit right on this day. Let me put these bad boys in. And then they didn't start. There they go. Yay, yay. Okay.
Just say yes, please.
Yes, I was provided with that information.
Woo!
The information
Hang on.
in the John picture.
Come on now, Bluetooth, earbuds. Why you do this? Hates me. Connect. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah. Okay, we got it. Let's go, motion to screen. Boom.
The resident.
I believe that was part of the original information. Yes.
Oh God, Brennan.
Were you aware that she informed relative to the broken right taillight? She didn't know how it happened.
Yes, I was.
Dude, if that's not the one question that they ask on
Done.
Troughs.
Stick a pin in
only
it, Chad.
play here can be that he's trying to discredit his own witness.
on witness.
That's,
It's
I mean, that's
insanity.
that's his only play here. That she is indeed a whack job.
Right.
Like, okay, man. I mean, I've never seen this.
This is the
before.
this is
Unbelievable.
hands down.
Thank you so much, Steph. I'm gonna let me play the sparkles right now, just for shits and giggles. Just for thank you so much. Fuck your memberships. So much scrolling.
As of this moment, the best evidence that has come in for the defense, and I would be on the jury saying not guilty. But if somehow, some way, Alessi's only question or next question isn't, despite all that, you came back with undetermined. I mean, at this point, Brennan might ask it. It seems like he's heading that way.
I'd be floored if he didn't.
I know he's lining it up.
If you're right, if you're going to discredit her, go all the way. Go all the way, Hank.
He forgot which side of the table he's on.
Wow.
He's completely lost the fucking plot.
Wow.
If he doesn't, and then the defense somehow doesn't, then I take back all the good things I've said about this defense. And Karen Reed needs a fucking refund. So let's see.
They're doing it all pro bono.
Well,
Go around.
okay.
Were you aware that members of the Massachusetts State Police obtained John O'Keefe's phone and did forensic data analysis on it
I was not aware of that until much later.
after you filed your report?
Correct.
Were you aware of location data that was obtained from John O'Keefe's phone before you filed the death certificate?
No, I was not.
Were you aware of
All right, now we got the
healthcare
second
data
question.
on John O'Keefe's phone before you filed the death certificate?
No, I was not.
So now, obviously, our second question is, and I think it's a safe one, but you never know. Would you have changed your knowing all the things you didn't know, the three things you didn't know? Would that have caused you to change your answer to determined? You know,
Were you aware of battery temperature data on Mr. O'Keefe's iPhone before you filed your death certificate?
No, I was not.
Were you aware of voice messages left on John O'Keefe's
Yes.
phone from the defendant before you filed your death certificate?
yes.
No, I was not.
Oh.
Were you aware of text messages between the defendant and John O'Keefe before you filed your death certificate?
No.
Were you aware of statements from the defendant to various media outlets before you filed your death certificate?
No, I was not.
Did anybody ever come to you after you filed your death certificate and ask you to change it?
Kind
Did
of.
anybody ever provide you any of this additional information you weren't aware of at the time, ask you to evaluate it and then reconsider? your finding?
Objection.
No.
Objection. They didn't have it at the time. Objection. Bullshit.
Oh, she's so cool.
You know, did they tell you all the shit we didn't
You
know?
asked some questions about impact injuries. In your experience, are most pedestrian collisions where there's injuries to the lower legs, either frontal or rear impacts?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll allow that because I'll allow that.
Most
course you will.
pedestrian fatalities that we see are with impact with the front of the vehicle.
When you gave the perspective that you looked for impact injuries, was that with consideration of your experience that most collisions are frontal impact injuries?
No, I knew this was a rear,
Most collisions involve frontal impact. Yes.
but that's not what she thought.
How about cases where you had an opportunity
Better
to
ask that
observe
too.
people who sustained injuries from being clipped, not hit, but just being clipped? Is your opinion any different in your experience?
Yes.
Sustained in that one.
Yes, my opinion is
How
you're an
about a
idiot,
side
Hank.
Objection.
Injury, is that different relative to your expectations to lower extremity injuries?
Objection, Your Honor.
Hi, life artist.
A
Good to
bruise on the
see.
knee,
How you
is
going,
that
girl?
consistent with a sideswipe impact?
Could be.
Not this one.
Did you do any type of
not even
biomechanical
bruised.
analysis of any alleged collision in this case?
No, I did not.
No, I know
You
two
have
guys
to.
who did though.
I'm not qualified to do that.
And so when you talk about injuries from a collision, are you in part speculating about what could happen to somebody?
No,
Sustained in that.
he's
Are you giving
impeaching his own
direct
fucking witness.
opinion in this case
Totally.
about how the injuries were caused?
Sustained.
You were asked questions about a nose laceration,
Oh,
Yes.
please.
and you offered that was not consistent with falling backwards on the head alone.
Correct.
You were asked if that was consistent with a punch.
Can you pause for a sec, please? Motion to scream, what the fuck? Ms, what the fuck? Chat, remember in the first trial when they had Liza Little cross Dr. Irini Squirty Below? And remember how encouraging Dr. Squirty Below was to Liza? We've done a We Need to Talk episode about it. And she was nodding encouragingly. She was eliciting or encouraging Liza, it seemed, on her line of questioning. I feel like I want to go back and watch it. She seemed more resistant this time. Perhaps, I don't know. What are your thoughts, chat? More resistant to Alessi because Alessi is a man, maybe. Alessi is Alessi. He was going in pretty hard. I agree. Akasha Colour says, I think she's a terrible ME. And then Akasha says, I think she's a good medical examiner. I think she just tells it how she sees it and is not swayed by someone else's opinion. Yeah, I thought it was pretty well done. Pretty well done. Whiny Hank. He's just, ugh. Colour says, well, in mass, they burn people at the stake of jealous neighbours and kids' testimony. So I guess it tracks. Yeah, it seems to be on brand for sure. For sure. Yeah, Princey, I feel like maybe I might also. There's a fair few flying monkeys in that chat for me. If you know, you know. So I tend to have an aversion, even though I love Bob and Ali and love a lot of the people in that chat. There are a few I don't love. So, yeah, Tony says the ME seems to be one of the truly neutral witnesses. I agree. She stood up well. LA says I admire her. Wait, all my scrolling abilities have gone out the window since I've been streaming for the last 84 years on my phone, apparently. Akasha, I used to think so. I don't anymore. She didn't get the hypothermia right. And now that I know more about John's head injuries, you can totally tell he was hit several times with a small round object. Sidebah. Colours has cracked the case. She's cracked it like, sorry, is this in poor taste? Like John's skull was cracked. Yes, that was, but it's already out of my mouth. Apologies. Okay, let's keep going. It's too late. They can't put that shit back in the horse. Once I say bullshit stuff, it's already out. I can't.
Did you provide an opinion that it could be consistent with a punch?
I did provide that opinion.
Could it be consistent with broken glass?
No,
It's possible.
Could it be consistent with sharp shards from broken plastic?
Possible.
Could it be consistent with first aid?
no,
I'm sorry, what was it?
Could it be consistent with first aid treatment?
unlikely.
Anything is possible.
Not everything's
Do you have
possible,
any
but okay.
firsthand knowledge of how the laceration on the nose happened?
Blunt
I do not have
trauma.
firsthand knowledge.
Did you know at the time you filed your death certificate that there was plastic pieces of
Yes.
light found near Mr. O'Keefe's body around 5:45 p.m. on January 29th, 2000?
Pause, please, miss. What the
Believe some of
fuck?
that-
I'm gonna I'll just read it out rather than sharing the screen. But Steph asked, is the ME position political too? Do you mean is it an elected position? Because that's what I Googled. The AI says no, the medical examiner position in Massachusetts is not an elected position. The chief medical examiner is appointed by the governor for a term of 5 years. District medical examiners are also appointed by the chief medical examiner. So I guess kind of. Is that an answer? kind of not elected, but also not a like appointed suggests it's not a process of job application, right? Interesting.
All right, Mr. Brennan, whenever you're
Interesting.
ready.
Go for it, Ms. What the fuck? Hired, but it feels like nepotism, potentially. KKK, go.
Yes.
Was communicated to
Is
us.
that
Yes.
the way you want to end? Ah,
All right, Mr. Alessi.
I just have one question, Your Honor.
2,
Thank you, Your Honor.
maybe 3. I forgot now.
Make it compound. Squeeze it all into one.
Dr. Squirty Below, this Attorney Brennan just asked you questions about alcohol consumption. You had the opportunity to evaluate the medical records of Mr.
Brennan,
O'Keefe,
I mean,
correct?
Leslie.
Correct.
Don't put me to
And
sleep before you ask this
you
question.
had,
Damn it.
in terms of the medical records, information with regard to the
Pause.
medication.
I think, New Storm, that she's normally based in not at the Cape. She was doing some filling in it on the Cape. Is Sandwich on the Cape? I wasn't sure. I'm not familiar with the geography. But so she conducted the autopsy of Officer John O'Keefe out of her normal premises. Yeah. But I don't think that she was just going. She just went and did some of her work at a location to her regular location, is my understanding. Squirty Below. No. I'll keep an eye out. Okay, thanks, Ms. What the fuck?
That Mr. O'Keefe had taken, is that correct?
I believe I reviewed those records at some point prior to issuing my report. Yes.
Do you recall the list of medications that were in the medical records that Mr. O'Keefe was on?
I do not recall.
If I were to show you a document, might that refresh your recollection as to the list of medications?
It's outside.
I'm going to allow it. Is in connection with alcohol too, you said, right?
Correct. Your
Go right
Honor.
ahead.
All right, but why not start with that strong point? At least end with it.
End with it. End on a high note. Always end on a high note.
People in the chat are giving spoilers. What the fuck?
Wait.
Apparently he doesn't ask it.
No.
Thank you.
Document up at the top it says John O'Keefe, and I would like to draw your attention to
Oh
medication.
God.
And to expedite it, I am going to focus on the 4th item on that list. Can you state what that medication
Okay,
is?
good. The person
Fourth
has-
item is omeprazole.
Alessi's
Does that
Bay,
refresh your
Tony.
recollection as to one of the medications Mr. O'Keefe was on?
Yes.
And that medication is,
Is an antacid.
right, and so omeprazole is the trade name of omeprazole Pepsid?
I believe so.
And Pepsid is a proton pump inhibitor,
Correct.
and a proton pump
She's
inhibitor
smiling.
stops the proton pump in the stomach from releasing acid, correct?
Yes.
And we're going to come back to that in just a moment, but do you also recall testifying at the grand jury with regard to alcohol consumption and potential alcohol consumption of Mr. O'Keefe?
I do remember testifying. Yes.
And do you recall
Pause.
what your testimony was?
So, Bev doesn't like Alessi. I think Alessi reamed Bev out on something recently when she asked him if he'd Googled whatever it was. And he's like, nah, man, fuck Google. My brain is smarter than Google. So I think that Bev is cautious, wary of Alessi now because he's a smart motherfucker. And yes, I do think that Dr. Squirty Below likes Alessi because he's not just some attorney guy asking her stupid questions. He knows what's what. He's done his research, and I think that's why Alessi starts his every cross off with a few little nuggets of talking about what was the word when he was talking to it was her at the start of this cross-examination when he said something about the legal aspect, medico-legal, that thing. And so I think that he does that with all of his witnesses that he's cross-examining to let them know, A, I know we can talk on a level that's on parlance, but also to let them know, don't try to put anything on me over me because I know what's what. I agree, Tony. I think she's happy to be able to converse about things with somebody else who knows what's going on. Yes. Reminder: Alessi is a pharmacist. Alessi is a goat. You keep a running tally for us, Simi. We'll. There's so much going on the screen with all of our stuff and Bob and Ali's stuff. Okay, let's go. Thank you.
Was with regard to alcohol consumption and small ulcers in the stomach potentially associated with alcohol consumption.
Alcohol consumption, I don't recall my exact words at grand jury, but alcohol consumption can lead to gastric ulcers.
And alcohol
Funny, forget this the
consumption
first
can
time
lead to
around.
gastric ulcers. And what medications
How to forget
can
this?
treat gastric ulcers?
Well, they don't treat them, they prevent them, but that would be a proton pump inhibitor such as omeprazole.
Right.
Hmm.
So isn't it correct, therefore, that the ulcers that are observed in the stomach of Mr. O'Keefe that we talked about, the gastric mucosa, could have come from
Hi, Mr. Poke.
ulceration due to alcohol consumption,
It's possible.
as
Wow.
opposed to hypothermia, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, she
Attorney
hates Hank Brennan.
asked you
100%.
questions moments ago, and actually several of them,
Yes, here we
of
go.
which included the words, did I hit him? Could I hit him? Do you recall those questions?
I do.
Go, Alessi.
And isn't
Go,
it
Alessi.
correct that you had that information
Pause.
before?
How cool is it? Thank you for reminding me. How cool is it when Alessi knows he's getting there? He's building up to his slow burn boom moment, and he goes, so. It's so cool. I love. Steph says I'm a bit of a scientist myself. Yes. Okay.
You issued your final findings in this matter in April of 2022.
Yes, I did.
So
Hey, Joe Schmo. Welcome back
Come on.
to part
Even
3
though-
we're on.
you had all that information.
Here it comes.
You still were
Look at
unable
Allie and Bob.
to the manner of death of Mr. Shorty Below.
That's how
Doctor,
it's
you
done,
are
kids.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Your
very
Honor.
much. I'm going to see Counsel at Sidebah.
Mr.
bet
Brennan,
you are
I still think you could have done it a little better. You could
That
have
was
added.
beautiful.
It was. You
Yeah,
could have
like
added
an
the
armchair
pieces and the this
quarterback.
and the that and the.
That was awesome. So good. So good. So good. So good. Rewind. You want to watch it again? We can watch it again. What about we can watch it again. It's so good. Because I was listening with Andrea Burkhart, and she was losing her ever loving mind about Hank Brennan's bullshit stuff beforehand. And then that was such a good moment. Such a good moment. 5 seconds. No, we can watch whatever. Not the whole thing. But Bob and Ali are so cute cheering over there.
Come, kids.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Include the manner of death of Mr.
Correct.
Thank you, Dr. Shorty Below.
That's how
Doctor,
it's
you
done,
are.
kids.
I'm going to see Counsel at Sidebah.
Mr. Brennan, I still think you could have done it a little better. You
That
could
was
have added.
beautiful.
It was.
Yeah,
You could have
like
added
an
the
armchair
pieces and the this
quarterback.
and the that and the.
That was beautiful.
That's the only one he gave a shit about because that's
That was it.
she's calling him Mr. Brennan. Did you mean to tank your entire case there? Is that what you meant to
And
do?
note.
The county's paying you, Brennan. What the fuck are you doing?
Allie. Oh, she's the best. They're the best. They're the best. So that was a fantastic moment. It was. What day was that? Was that yesterday? Like Friday? Was it Friday? Who even knows? Was it? Yes. No. What? I can't even remember. Musical interlude, says Steph. We could do a musical interlude. What do you want? Dying. We can do whatever we want. We can do whatever the fuck we want in part 3 after I've had wine. I've even snorted. Oh, what did you snort? That sounds fun. Thursday. It was yesterday. What is today? Fuck. I don't know, man. I don't know. Thursday. Thanks everybody who knows what's what. I don't know. Thursday. So what happened on Friday then? What happened on Friday? Motion to screen, what the fuck, remember? I don't remember. I did almost 20,000 steps at work on Friday and listened to the trial. Here we go. This is what happened. Here, thank God Ms. What the Fuck has a brain, because I don't have any recollection of these guys, these two. Also, we're not there yet, but Sidebah, I think that, I don't think she's Ms., but the second person, Ashley, looks much better with that gorgeous hair. That hair was lovely. Trial by ambush is what happened on Friday. Correct. Oh my God, Laura. I don't even know anymore. Like, ugh. What is the time? Shall we watch a bit of this DNA guy? Because that was interesting. Let's do it. LA says Candy, even most people at Detox I worked at would have been trashed at nearly 0.3. Most people get real drunk high before checking in. Yeah, I'd do that. I would absolutely have one last hurrah. And he seemed totally fine in the bar. 0.3 could kill most people. Man, I'm probably at 0.28 right now. I'm on Karen's high end of the spectrum. I'm joking. I had like half a glass of wine, and that was an hour ago. Princey says it's still Saturday, and I have been watching Shorty since 11 a.m. I mean, I don't even know anymore. Nina's back. Excellent. Welcome. Okay. This could be it could be anybody, guy. Yes. Didn't land the way yeah. Excuse me. Clear my throat. Charming. Delightful. Bit of Yanetti. Pause for a sec first. What the fuck? This is directly to you. What the fuck? Are you okay with the fact that we've hardly seen any Yanetti this trial? Thoughts and prayers, girl. Like, I'm worried for you. I'm worried for all of us. We're spoilt for choice. We've had a lot of Alessi. Love Alessi, but that's my guy. Exactly. I'm worried about you. What the fuck? I knew it. Excuse me. I knew it. If you're new here, motion to screen. What the fuck? Granted, has dibs on David Yanetti. Sidebah. He's 62. He's lovely, and let's just all revel and bask in the glory that is David Yanetti. We miss you, sir. Let's go. And colors. Sorry.
Mr. Porto, I would like to start by asking you about item 3-1.1, which you've identified as a sample from the passenger side taillight of the vehicle. Can you orient yourself in your report to that item? Yes. And that, of course, was the passenger side taillight that was attached to the vehicle, correct? Correct.
Agree,
You
Nick.
were never asked to do
Too
a
hot.
DNA comparison on any pieces of taillight connected with this case, correct?
Let me check my other report. For taillight, there was another item that was item
Sir,
3.1.
He looks good for 62. He looks good. Full stop.
So
62.
if I suggested to you
Just
that
looks
the
good.
taillight was plastic, that glass wouldn't have been the taillight, correct?
I don't have, that's beyond my scope of testing.
Nah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Nah, he's
With
mine.
regard to the passenger side taillight, you found that there were 3 contributors of DNA to that taillight attached to the vehicle, correct? Correct.
You're going
one
to
of
fight
those
me,
appeared
colors, not what the
John
fuck.
O'Keefe, is that fair to say?
He was included
All
to
right.
the profile.
With regard to the other 2 contributors, who were they?
They could
Oh,
be
look at him leaning on the podium.
Were you ever
Aw.
asked to compare DNA samples from either Canton Police Detective Kevin Albert or Canton Police Chief Kenneth Berkowitz to the DNA profile that you analyzed from that passenger side taillight?
I was not.
Now, with regard to the broken drinking glass, which is item 3-2.1.1, do you see that in your report?
I do.
With regard to that, you came up with a DNA profile that also had 3 contributors, correct?
Fair, colors. That's fair. Very fair.
One of those contributors appeared to be John O'Keefe, correct?
He was included, correct.
Who were the other two contributors?
I don't know. They could be anybody.
Were you ever asked with regard to that broken drinking glass to compare the DNA profile that you analyzed with the DNA of either Boston Police Sergeant Brian Albert or ATF agent Brian Higgins?
I was not.
Now, with regard to 7.1.2.1, or maybe it's 7-1.2.1, that's the stain A from the upper right leg of the jeans.
Correct.
All right. And you were aware, you were told that those were the jeans that John O'Keefe was wearing on the morning in question when he was found?
Based on the sample description, that's what it seems.
All right. And it turned out that his DNA was on his own jeans, correct?
He was included in the profile.
All right. And that was unsurprising to you, correct? And with regard to that item, you found that there were 3 contributors of DNA, correct?
Correct.
With John O'Keefe being one of them.
He was included in the profile, yes.
And who were the other 2?
I don't know. They could be anybody.
Let's move on to stain B. Also,
Pause for a second,
right
please.
leg
What the fuck?
That is
Akasha, I was interested, Akasha, in your comments about it being pub P. What did you say? Bar Pee, BARPEE. On what? John's shoes? I mean, yuck. I'm still reeling from Colour's weeks ago assertion that maybe the vomit on Officer John O'Keefe's boxes was from him throwing up at the waterfall intentionally so he could keep drinking. Maybe with all those ulcers, there's not so much of a question about that. But yikes. So tell me more about the BAP. I'm still going. Yes. Hi, Detective Mullins. This is part 3. We've had some breaks off and on because streaming is dynamic. But here we are, still going. So I'm glad to see you back. Thanks for coming back. Now, let me see. Yes, Bar P. Bar P might have been on the bottom. Hopefully nowhere else. Ew. So this line of on the shoe, yes, this line of questioning, I think, is effective in that whole. It doesn't really matter what the answers are. Like, we'd all like to know who else's DNA was on all of John. The point is, I think, the point is that the MSP didn't try to find out. That's the point. That's the point, I think. Did the waterfall have a piss trough? Well, Tony, I'm not sure. Don't all pubs have piss troughs? How did we get here? I started this again. Who knows? Detective Mullins might know. Oh no, but wait. Detective Mullins probably doesn't go in the male toilets, so probably Detective Mullins doesn't know. By chance, do you know, Detective Mullins, if there's a urinal, a piss trough at the waterfall? Asking for a friend. Tony needs to know.
How did you get my digits? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Facts. Men are gross. Men are gross. Sorry, men. They're even grosser when they're drunk. They give so many less fucks in a bathroom that is not maintained by their female significant other. They just pee everywhere in the bar. They just pee everywhere, don't they? Men. Nick says, here we go. This is where things go on at the last part of every weekend. We had to pack all of our feral into 3 segmented live streams on the one night. I hope you all weren't feral in uncivil law. I trust you weren't. I couldn't see the chat. Okay. Tony says, thank you, Tony. This is helpful. Regular urinals are different from piss troughs. Piss troughs are more of a communal structure that's just yuck. Like ay. Hey. There's got to be at least one urinal. Men are gross. Oh my God. Hi. Nick has an extremely tidy stream. Thank you. Good. Good. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Shelley says it would give the MSP something to retrain. Right. Exactly. Moving right along. Boys splatter unless they sit. Exactly. I don't understand why guys do. I would sit down if I had to wee if I was a guy. Is it because you don't want to undo your belt and your pants if you're wearing belt and trousers? You just want to unzip and rezip? I don't get it. Wouldn't it be fun just to sit down for a minute and not leave any splashes? Or Google image a pass key trough. Oh, well, fuck. We're going there apparently. Sure, let me. Un momento. I'm concerned. But Brit knows what's what, so we'll give it a go. Pass key troughs. No, that's not. It doesn't understand what we're trying to ask. It's like, what are you trying to Google here, you fucking weirdos? It thinks we're talking about. Wait, no, it doesn't. It thinks we're talking about like logins for computers. Okay, Detective Mullins says yes. The waterfall has a urinal or a piss trough. The urinals are individual though. I wonder if you asked someone in the know. Tell him I said hi. Nick says, wait, what? I never know whether to stand on the grate or not. There needs to be instructions. Grate? Wait, there's an overflow section? What is wrong with men? You guys are foul. Everybody was great for the Uncivil Law stream. Thanks for making my job easier today. Well, thank you, Tony. You had your work cut out for you in the Betero stream, I'm sure. There was a lot of love for Betero, but I bet you there were some trolls. Surely 5,000 people. Feral Saturday, apparently. Okay, let's go on with the nerd. Enough. I don't know. Pass key, piss troughs, I'm not sure.
7-1.3.1. You see that in your report?
I do.
When you found a DNA profile, how many contributors of DNA were there?
3 contributors.
All right. And again, this was John O'Keefe's genes, correct?
Based on the description, yes.
So he was one of the 3 contributors.
He was included in the profile, yeah.
Who were the other 2?
I don't know. They could be anybody.
Moving on to stain C from the upper right leg of the genes. 7-1.4.1. You see that in your report?
I do.
With regard to the DNA profile that you analyzed there, how many contributors of DNA were there to that profile?
At least 2, and it was interpreted as 2 contributors.
Pause, what the fuck? I'm sorry, but I found something. I've gone on an investigation and I found something. Britt, you're onto something. Sorry about the throat clearing. Must be the wine. Fuck. 10:30 wine. Okay, wait. So the first thing it comes up with is the urinal shop. Ooh, wait. Scrolling like a motherfucker. Just talking about stainless steel urinals, wall hung troughs, deluxe, pod. People always also ask, what is a pee trough? Why are trough urinals prohibited? I feel like we're getting to the crux of the matter. Trough urinals have fallen out of favor in public restrooms for several reasons. Hygiene concerns. Trough urinals can be less hygienic than individual stalls. Well, no shit. Please, no shit in a trough urinal. They typically allow for closer proximity between users. Weirdos go into a stall, which can increase the likelihood of splashing and reduce privacy. So, do we want to know what this? Why do they put ice in urinal troughs? Wait, what? What's going on in the men's bathrooms? To a bartender's surprise, the ice eliminated urinal odors. As one expert explained, the ice froze odor-causing molecules in urine, preventing them from being released. How did we get here, chat? Eventually, the odor-filled molecules melt with the ice and drip down the urinal into the sewer. You're welcome, chat. I'm not sure what just happened there. I'm not sure what happened there, but here we are. There's a grate, like a cattle grate, I think vaguely, but we're women. We go into the bathroom and we go into the stall and we sit down like civilized people. Troughs and grates. This stream isn't getting monetized. It wasn't anyway. There's been so much up in the air shit that there's no monetization. No $6 in AdSense revenue for me. Okay. As you were, I'll stop screen, motion to screen, what the fuck, granted. You asked for it, piss troughs, not passkey troughs. Sorry, not sorry.
The description.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
And you said at least 2 contributors. It actually could have been more than 2.
Based on our protocols, I had to call it 2, and we determined it as 2, but it could be more than 2. Yes.
Okay. Well, let's pay attention to the one that was not John O'Keefe. At least that one. Who contributed that DNA to his pants?
I don't know. It could be anybody.
Moving on to stain B, which is 7-1.5.1. And if I can just put my glasses on to make sure I've read my own writing correctly.
On there, Willie?
Is it 7-15-1? Did I get that wrong the first time?
D?
I'm sorry?
Do you mean
Stain
stain
D.
D?
Stain D.
Stain D is 7-1.5.
Oh, I had it right the first time. Okay. With regard to that stain, you also got a DNA profile. And how many contributors were there to that DNA profile?
I interpreted it as 3 contributors.
And again, this John O'Keefe's genes, correct?
Correct.
He was one of the contributors to his own genes, correct?
He was included in the profile.
And with regard to that stain on the upper right leg of his jeans, who contributed the DNA to the, who are the other 2 contributors of DNA to that stain?
I don't know. They could be anybody.
Pause. Sorry, what the fuck? I'm sorry.
And then-
But I'm sorry. We can't end it here. I'm a visual person. So let's find. There's the grate. You're not supposed to stand on the grate, Nick. What are you talking about? There's no way you're supposed to stand on that. Is that a piss trough? What is this? What's going on in the world? Here. What's this? What's this one? What are we doing with our lives, man? Why wouldn't you just go? Oh my God, what have I done? Yikes. Just go bigger. That's what she said. I've made my screen tiny. Oh, here's a guy. Nick, wait, he's standing on the thing. Nick, he's standing on the grate. This is fascinating. Why are we here? I'm not sure. Have we seen enough? What is this? We have seen enough. I'm not quite sure what's going on with men. What is this? Michigan football stadium. Yuck. What is this? They're all pissing in the fucking...
That, Mr. Breenun.
Lordy, Dordy, okay, that's enough of that. Yikes a dikes. Thanks for coming to that TED Talk. Not sure. Okay, back to you, what the fuck. We're done here.
And finally, with regard to that upper right leg of the jeans, there was also a stain E, correct?
Correct.
How many contributors did you find to that DNA profile?
2 contributors.
One of which was John O'Keefe to his own genes, correct?
He was included, yes.
And who was the other contributor to that stain on the jeans?
It could be anybody. I don't know.
And by the way, just for the record, that was 7.1.6.1?
7-1.6.
7-1.6.1. Thank you, sir. Okay, now, with regard to the unstained area of the exterior of the jeans, do you see item 7-1.7.1?
Yes.
You found a DNA profile with regard to that unstained area as well, correct?
Correct.
How many contributors of DNA were there to that unstained area of the jeans?
I interpreted it as 4 contributors.
And John O'Keefe was one of those, correct?
He was included in the profile.
His own genes.
Based on the description, yes.
Who were the other
His
3
own
contributors to that DNA profile?
I don't know. It could be anybody.
And,
Nobody did, Joe. Nobody
on
did.
to the speaker, I just wanted to ask you a question about the passenger side taillight that I neglected to ask you. That was the one where there were 3 contributors, correct? And again, I'm going back to 3-1.1.
Correct.
Sorry to skip around, sir. I'm not trying to make this any more confusing than it is.
And suddenly I need to pee.
And that DNA profile. Are you able to determine when that DNA was deposited on the passenger side taillight that was attached to the vehicle?
No, I'm not.
Are you able to testify with any certainty that it was deposited there, say, on January 28th or 29th of 2022?
No, I can't.
Tony, you've been well. This is how we go. This is how we do it.
Are you able to say whether it occurred prior to January 28th of 2022?
No, I can't.
Were you aware that that vehicle was John O'Keefe's girlfriend's vehicle?
I was not.
Were you provided any information about just how often he had been in and around that vehicle prior to January 28th of 2022? So moving on to 7-3.1, which was the right instep of the sneaker, correct? You see that in your report?
Yep.
With regard to that particular stain, you noted how many contributors of DNA?
Yeah, it was interpreted as at least 5 contributors.
And when you have interpreted it as at least 5 contributors, what does that do to your ability to find out who contributed that DNA?
So based on our protocols, we're not able to do any comparisons to any mixtures that are 5 or more contributors. So it's not suitable for comparisons.
Okay, which means that with regard to the sneaker, at least, you couldn't even say whether John O'Keefe's DNA was on it, correct?
Correct.
And with regard to all 5, do you have any idea who contributed the DNA to that sneaker?
No, I don't.
Now, moving on to, I just have a couple more for you, sir. Moving on to.
I like his big tie.
L,
Nick,
which is
pause.
7-18.
What the fuck? Definitely my brain is running out of focus. That's fine. That's what we do here. Nick, what do you think about this gentleman's tie? Is this fashionable or unfashionable? Because Laura says the 70s, 80s called, they want their glasses back. Yikes. And then I looked closely at him and then I noticed his big old tie knot. Is this cool, Nick? What are we doing? And yes, correct. Do not eat the urinal lollies. I need to know, Nick. Bad knot. He dresses like a virgin, Brinzy. Oh, Brinzy, right. Okay, press play. Nick will come in with some fashion advice, I'm sure.
14.1, I believe. Do you see that in your report?
I do.
And that was a stain on the back bottom of his long sleeve shirt, correct?
Correct.
And were you told that the long sleeve shirt was his outer clothing when he was found?
I don't believe so.
How many contributors to that stain on the back bottom of his
That's
long
what she
sleeve
said, Nick.
did you find in that DNA profile?
I interpreted it as 2 contributors.
And did you make any match with regard to either of those contributors or both?
I did comparisons, and John O'Keefe was included as one of the contributors.
I feel mildly nauseated, Chad, but okay.
Contributor of DNA to his own long sleeve shirt, correct?
Based on the descriptions, correct.
All right, and whose other DNA was on that shirt?
I don't know.
And then finally, with regard to 7-18.17.1, that was an unstained area of the exterior of that shirt, correct? That same long sleeve shirt.
Correct.
And you tested that and got a DNA profile, correct?
Correct.
How many contributors were there to that DNA profile?
I interpreted it as 2 contributors.
Was John O'Keefe one of them?
He was included as one of the contributors.
Okay, so his DNA was found on his own shirt, correct?
Based on the description.
Interesting. Wild. What a revelation.
Sweatshirt?
I don't know.
With regard to any of the stains on the upper right leg of the jeans, I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that you've discussed here today. Were you ever asked to compare the DNA profile with the DNA profiles of either Brian Higgins or Brian Albert?
I was not.
And your answer was you were not?
I was not.
Did anybody ever provide you with DNA profiles of Brian Higgins or Brian Albert? I just have one more question for you, Mr. Porto, and I do want to thank you for answering all my questions here today. You wrote reports on your analysis of all the items and the work that you did on this case?
I did.
And you are directed, pursuant to protocol, to address those reports to somebody, correct?
Correct.
Who was it that you sent the reports to in this case?
I'm sustaining the objection.
Did you send those reports to Michael Proctor?
Ooh, zing, zing. Big Yanetti energy. Drop him in the chat if you've got him. Big Yanetti energy. Fuck you, Bev. I'm going to ask it anyway. Fuck you, Bev. I'm going to ask it anyway. That's excellent. Excellent. Yes, same. What the fuck? I just love the I don't know and could be anyone. Fantastic. Tony P says the biggest sin that gets me with witnesses showing up in a suit and tie, but with a shirt whose neck is 2 sizes too small and they can't button up the top button. I have more of an issue when their collar is too big and it's like all, I guess they're leaving room for, I'm dying up here, can't breathe. The cross-examination is killing me. Oh, yikes, that's what she said. There it is. Nick says, I'd go with the 4 in the hand, not for the perfect dimple. You know this is the perfect time for
Good
this.
for them. I'm happy. But I just want to make sure that I am still held in the highest esteem of the system. It's not a deal breaker, but I'd like to know. Thank you.
Of course, Simi's thought that you said pinch his nipple. Simi, you don't want to pinch Yanetti's nipples, do you? Nipples? Nipple. Yanetti is good at that. What, pinching nipples? The Porto defense. It could be anybody. I don't get that. Is that a US thing? Is that an advertising campaign? Yeah, Yanetti has been on the offense. I guess he's like, this is my moment. This is my time to shine. Excuse me. Nick, we've heard that about you. Nipple pincher you. Are you still at the gym, Nick? Highest esteem. Okay, we've got one more witness and then the outrage, I guess. Am I right, Ms. What the fuck? Also, Sidebah, chat, we're on 22%. We started at 38. We're all good. We're all good. Yikes, it's been quite the ride, chat. So that. I reckon we're ready, Ms. What the fuck? Let's do it. She says, do what? What are you talking about? I don't know. This? Something. We're finding it. Here, I'll get out of there. Oh, there she goes. Don't show my works. Don't show my works. Nick said it. Double wins and not. I don't know what any of that means. Oh, Porto is the witness name. Ah, see? I should pay more attention. Porto was the virgin's name. Hi, Scarlett. Hi. 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 What are you called, Lynn? What's your grandmother name? What's your grandmother name? Dude, F your internets. Yeah, I'm like, we're doing it. We did it. Hi, Scarlett from Tasmania, Australia. That's pretty cool. Buys and tries. That's usually for chest buys and tries. No. Good on you. Not training your back anymore, Nico? Not training your back anymore. I'm not training anything. I'm not training anything. Stand by. No ash. KK. Can do. See, this is what happens when we don't see Miss Shorty all week, right? And we're just going to let our hair down and go a little bit feral. It's what we do here. I love that for us. I do. I think we all love it. Oh, look. Ooh. 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 What's this curtaining I see here? I love this. Back was last night.
Now, with respect to any of those items, there were some items that pieces within the same bag that had the same date on that bag did not fit together mechanically, correct?
Yes.
However, there were items from one bag collected on one date that did fit mechanically with items from another bag collected on another date. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have a report on that? I don't know if I have a report on that. And
Do you
that
have
would
a
be
record
why.
of that in your report in terms of who it was that brought the material to your lab?
I could look at the evidence submission form to see who.
With the court's permission?
Yes.
Because it would go through the different departments first. So
Okay.
Brennan asked to approach.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Yanetti.
Having reviewed your reports,
I did. I
can
started
you testify to the jury about who it was that brought this evidence into the lab?
So you can tell us.
Okay. So submission 7, all the items that are 7- was submitted by Trooper Michael Proctor.
Shocking.
What date was the clothing brought to your lab?
Clothing was in March.
March 14th, 2022.
So that means that your chain of custody at the lab began on
Colors,
March
it's not a
14th of
girl.
2022, correct?
It's a they.
Yes.
They're a they, colors. They're a, I don't know what that is. that's a they. I'm going to
And
just
would
sound
you
like a
agree with me
boomer
that
who
was
doesn't
about
know
6
shit.
weeks
I'm going to sound like a
after
boomer who doesn't know
the date of
shit.
the
But,
incident?
but Ashley, remember, I think you're supposed to call them, was it Vix? Was it Vix? What was the not Ms. or Ms? Can we remember? I can't remember. Non-binary, yes, but what do you say? They are a they. They are a they. Yes, but what do you? It wasn't Miss or Ms. There was a whole thing. Yes, it was last trial, 100%. I can't remember what the title was. Mix. Hi, Kylie. Thank you. Comes in with some factoids. Thank you. Okay. I'm just grandma. I would be grandma also, Lynn. You do not need to use a Miss, Ms, Mr, or Miss. Well, I'm Saint, Lady. Wait, what am I? Someone, chat, remind me. There's so many now. Saint, Dr. Lady, Prophet, Miss Shorty, Esquire. That. Yes. Okay, press play. Mooks.
Incident, January 29th of 2022?
Yes.
And of course, you can't speak to the chain of custody from January 29th to March 14th of
I don't know what
2022,
happened.
correct?
Nope.
Correct.
And you have no information,
Nope.
you do not know why Michael Proctor waited 6 weeks to bring this clothing to your lab, do you?
Sustained.
He had shit to do with it.
on
He had
this.
shit with the
Mr. Meat.
clothes. He had stuff to do. No, I've got more now. It's Saint. I'm pretty sure it goes motion to screen. What the fuck knows? It's Saint. Definitely Saint. If you're not sure, I'm a saint. It's a whole thing. Saint, Dr. Lady, Miss Shorty, Prophet Esquire. Where does the prophet go? Mix is pronounced mix. What does zem mean? Goodness me. I'm she. Just call me Ms. Don't call me a lady. Except for in my title. Some folks are she, they, some are they, them. Thank you. Saint, Dr. Prophet, Seer, Miss Lady, Shorty, Esquire, Supreme, aka Supreme Leader. It's less of a mouthful. That's what she said. Nick. It's okay. Nick didn't even know that Rihanna and ASAP Rocky were like a thing. We love you, Nick. Okay, carry on. Okay, I'm done now. I feel like Akasha's oldest spawn is non-binary. What do they go by? They are they. Goodness gracious. I need to learn. Colors is out. No colors. Colors is out. You're always right. If you do not know, you ask them what their pronouns are, and that's the respectful way to go about it. Yes. Or how they prefer to be addressed. Lisa, I suppose, Laura, you can probably, they. It confuses me also. Nick, you are he, him. End of lesson. That's it. Okay. Lisa. Yeah, you can call me Lisa for short. Shorty. K. No, Tony. Tony's like, what are they going on about here? Lord have mercy. It's okay, Tony. You'll get the gist eventually. Okay. I'm off. Here, wait. This and this. Oh, I almost pressed remove. Okay, we can go. Steph says, my pronouns are none. Do not refer to me. But if you're going to, bring bacon. Right? Thank you, Tony, for being here. Princey says, thank you, Tony. I also say thank you. EDB says, what are you all talking about? That's it. Do not engage with Stephanie. If you do, please bring bacon.
File label names argumentative? Yes. Has the prosecution objected to it? No. Could they? Yes. And the court could force them to redact it, and they haven't. So do I rely on the file names placed there by the defense? No, they're argumentative. Of course the defense is going to label them the thing they want you to think. That's what they do. And the Commonwealth hasn't caught it. I don't love it. It should be photo 1127 or whatever, but it's not. I don't put facts onto the file names because I know that they are naming their files themselves. To wrap up the rest of the day, we ended the day with the crime lab puzzler, Ash Villar, who pieced together the taillight. This testimony came in, I think, much quicker and much smoother than it did in the first trial. It is still a lot of numbers and trying to correlate bags of evidence, what's inside those bags of evidence, and then how they were puzzled together or manually fit together to construct or reconstruct a taillight. And the expert opinion of that witness is that the items identified.
Please and thank you. Thank you so much. So I was listening to this testimony. I think my brain zoned out. At what point did it become apparent that not all of the pieces that were collected from 34 Fairview were actually part of the puzzle? Was that during cross or did Lally elicit it? Thank you so much, Laura. Stay warm down there. Chat, let me know because I missed it. All I know is that people said it. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? No. Let's call it Ms. What the fuck. We got there. The only thing is, wait, what about Ms. What the fuck? Here, I'll get it. Well, watch, because I have got it. I've got it. I clipped a video. It's a short little fucking 20-minute one. We won't watch it all. However, let me just, that way we can go straight to it. Pause, Mr. Alessi, then I'll go share screen, walk and talk chat. Hang on. So EDB was going to wrap it up, but we know it's going to be feral. And I'm concerned about my phone battery. No, I'm not really. It's fine. It's got heaps of time. But let's go with this because this is what I would probably want to debrief about. Right. Let me just check. That doesn't look right over there, but it is for some reason. It's because this. It's not on volume. That's not helpful.
All right, Mr. Alessi, I'll hear you. You are unmuted.
Look how big my font is. You like it? I'm blind.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yesterday, Your Honor discussed with the parties and parties were heard with regard to the issues we have raised with regard to the timing of the May 8th report from Mr. Burgess that the defense received on May 11th. And what I wanted to do, Your Honor, is briefly provide the information Your Honor asked for yesterday, which was how much time we might need under various circumstances. And so I wanted to take a few moments to put that in context. It will only take me a brief amount of time to do so. So, Your Honor, there is a timing issue, but there's most importantly a substantive issue. I will not, of course, go into the detail of yesterday, but the timing really is informed by the substantive issue.
Pause.
And so,
Pause,
with
Mr.
regard
Alessi.
to
Sorry.
the matter,
Kylie, thank you. Okay. So Kylie says, why can't I see it? Okay. Wait, no, this, I don't think either side made it particularly apparent, but when you count, she only used like 10 of the pieces to make the taillight and they turned over 40. Yes. Okay. So this was sleuths looking at the images put up on screen. So no one they didn't elicit that testimony. Neither the Commonwealth nor the prosecution elicited that. Is that what you're saying? I guess that's what you're saying. Cool. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, my brain, I was, anyway, cool. Thank you so much. That helps me.
we went back and we looked at
there was no
more deeply the effect of this timing and this movement of the what has been referred to as clock drift in Mr. Burgess's report that we got on May 11th. I spoke of the significance yesterday, and here's what I would like to add as is relevant to the time we're going to need. I again urge the court to reject it substantively, because what we did was we went and we looked at matters such as the cross-examination of a key witness in this case, Jennifer McCabe. She testified with regard to observing a vehicle at 12:45 a.m. We, and that's a significant point. I know I don't need to elucidate for Your Honor. It goes, all of this is going in significant part, if not total part, to what has been as alleged a collision here, which we vigorously contest. It just never, no collision ever occurred. But the timing of it, the timing of what's alleged by the Commonwealth is very important. The seconds are important. Literally 1 second can turn not only the Commonwealth's theory completely around in circles and debunk it, but also the jury's analysis of it. And this is the point I wanted to elucidate today, is that the jurors have been provided information and the defense has aimed its defense on this claim based upon.
One of my songs starts with elucidate. It's the very first lyric. The song is called Perfect. A lot of my songs use a lot of Alessi's words, and they predate Alessi's words. So I always get a little tickle of here's me, Miss Shorty Esquire for shorts, Lisa.
Based upon, in large part, timing. So now what we have is on May 11th, Mr. Burgess changing the timing. So what does it affect? Not only witnesses like Jennifer McCabe, who we crossed, we strategized with regard to, but also my decision to not even cross Trooper Guarino, because Trooper Guarino had testimony with regard to when Ms. Reed connected with the Wi-Fi at One Meadows, and there's a certain time associated with that. We have Mr. Whiffen, who went through, the Commonwealth went through a timeline, and we believe they went through a timeline for the theory that they had. And I cross-examined Mr. Whiffen extensively with regard to that timeline. There were several defense strategies, and effectuations of strategies based upon that timing. So with regard to the substance, Your Honor,
1 quadrillion%, 69 quadrillion%, Steph. There's no way his eyebrows are lighter. He uses Just for Men and he's getting a little bit of bald on the top. He's 65. I love him. Definitely, like my hair, I'm 15 years younger than Alessi. My hair is getting the grays in. I'm loving them. Makes me look like I'm going bald at the moment. That's okay. We'll get there. I probably am from these ponytails. Clip-in pony, by the way. I've got about this much hair. Tiny, none. Yeah, my hair looks nice and dark like that. And then I have to tint my eyebrows, which I did yesterday, Sidebah. Definitely Just for Men. Definitely. And I'm here for it. Some stupid illogical fallacy troll on Twitter said, nothing I tweeted, because I don't really ever tweet, but anymore. But said he looked like, is it Frodo? Is that the one? Yeah, but doesn't and Hank Brennan looks like a weasel, and
there's more, but I think that's a fair representation. It innervates our entire defense. The question now, of Your Honor, of how much time it will take the defense to react to Mr. Burgess. I wanted to say it's not only a reaction, but it's a substantive defense analysis, and 3/4 of the effectuation of that has already occurred through our presentation in terms of cross-examination. So we would have to, and we're still evaluating that, revisit all of that. And secondly, we would have to put that into the calculation of all of our witnesses that we've already prepared that are based upon that.
Mr. Alessi. So David Yanetti is 61, but this was 2 months ago. Robert Alessi is 65. This is on Reddit. Should I trust it? Yes. Wait. Elizabeth Little is 35. Alan Jackson is 60. How old is Mark Betterow? Oh, I can't see that. Okay. Ugh. Anyway, 65 2 months ago, according to Reddit, which isn't necessarily completely accurate, but that's what we're going with because that
timeline. So it is a very significant point. And to the extent that the Commonwealth tries to argue, well, we never really committed that much to a certain time period. I again urge the court to look at the report of Dr. Judson Welcher, where he has 1162-2 with a.
He's so illustrative with his illustrators, with his gestures. Kylie says, you got to braid it. Wait, got to braid it, distributes the tension more evenly and prevents breakage. My breakage is not from this so much. I have a lot of breakage from stress. I've started taking supplements, Sidebah, but also wearing a hard hat all day. It's fucking with my hair. I've been getting like fucking pimples on my forehead at the age of 50 because of the hard hat, and it's like I got little patches here. My hair is very fine. Anyway, Sidebah. No more Just for Men for me.
with a specific range, 38 to 43. And even in their range, it's a very small time, which further supports how each second matters in this regard. Now to the answer to the question Your Honor asked yesterday. Again, I urge that it just be rejected and we keep this trial moving in its current pace. To the extent that that does not occur, and again, we urge that it be rejected, the report, because it's a Rule 14 violation. There is no remedy for the defense. However, to the extent, and given Your Honor nonetheless asked me for an answer in time, we would need 4 days to be able to address it. We will not ever be able to recover strategically or substantively from it, given all that's been presented to the jury. And it will be very difficult to figure out how we're going to go present a defense after we've already presented to the jury our defense in our cross-examination. It's not really structurally possible to simply take 4 days and address Mr. Burgess, because we can't go back to all the witnesses I just mentioned and others and start crossing them in eliciting testimony with this new time period in mind. But I wanted to...
I need to address this skullduggery scandal. Colors did warn me about my bang trimming. And what I did was I went ahead and did it anyway. And I think it's 5 weeks later, definitely still paying the price. It's also like this. I haven't washed my hair for 3 days. If I wanted to have my bangs out, again, sidebar, sorry, we're just going there. I would have had to wash my hair again, which would have meant I would have had to get up at 11 instead of midnight. I also still don't have a shower, a hot shower. Still no hot water in my house. So it's a whole fucking mission. That silk bonnet. My daughter's bestie is black and taught her so many hair tricks, like protective braids, using a bonnet. My daughter has thick, curly, and I have fine hair, so was doing it wrong. Because my LA says whenever I had bangs, they'd always look greasy. Mine look okay for the while, but then like I would go to work and push my hair back out of the way to put my hard hat on, and then I look ridiculous. And that I don't wear caps. I do wear caps, but I don't have much hair, and I've got a shorty cap. Anyway, carry on, Mr. Alessi. So sorry, we're going off the rails here, Alessi. Sorry, sir. It's been quite the day.
I wanted to answer the question, Your Honor, respectfully. It would be 4 days for us to even go from where we are now and then try to alter not only witnesses such as Arca, but DeSogra and Gaffney and other types of witnesses that we have in that regard. So, Your Honor, respectfully, that is my response.
All right. Does the Commonwealth want to be heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thoughts and prayers, chat. Agreed, Kylie. They're just trying to be deferential, and it's not getting
Your Honor,
anywhere.
the defense is very confused. They
Fuck
attempt
off,
to confuse
Breenun.
the issue.
So the problem I understand from a few of the law tubers with the, like, Bev hates the defense just on the whole. I think she might like some of the individual attorneys more or less than others. But yeah, biased, Bev. Biased. So I don't think there's any point at this stage for the defense team to continue to try to be reasonable when Hank Brennan is not being reasonable. He has set the pattern, and Bev buys in wholly, and it makes for quite the frustrating viewing for us in the peanut gallery to be like, just stop being so nice. It's not getting anywhere. Shut up, Brennan. Also, lol, it took me until just this week to understand why everybody was saying Breenun. It's a Plev and Bill kind of a dynamic, right? Am I right? It's because he calls Mr. Alessi, so everyone says Breenun. It took me a while. It's because I'm never in chat. I just all see you chatting. I'm like, why are they saying Breenun? I get it now. It's kind of cool.
They attempt to confuse Your Honor about what the impact will be. This has never been a change. The government is not changing their timeline. The Commonwealth is not changing any information. The Commonwealth is not offering anything that affects in any way the testimony of witnesses. It's notable in the argument there is no relationship to the facts of the actual report that was provided. The Commonwealth has always provided the data, which they have, and they hadn't a chance to analyze. And the interpretation of the data has been different between the parties. We have been clear from the beginning at the time in which the infotainment system shows that there was a collision. We've been clear. And the data has been clear. That has never changed. That data in the telestream system is based on a clock in the Lexus. Which
Oh,
well, is different than a clock.
He wrote his own name wrong. Did he write Henry Breenun? Well, fuck, that's hilarious. And Steph, no, Steph, girl, you know turkey. You ain't no turkey. You ain't no turkey. Most of his filings have spelling errors. Yikes. Prosector. Oh, fuck. I mean, okay, does he even realize he's lying? Shelley, interesting. What I'm formulating in my head for whichever night on Camp Shorty, whichever night we do Psychology Corner, probably, I don't know, yeah, we'll work that out, is I've been doing a bit more delving into narcissists and certain things. And I think I knew this already, but I believe he believes. I believe he believes. Narcissists have selective hearing, like they literally do, and they live in an alternate reality. It's very interesting. Stick a pin in it, Shelley. We'll use whatever psychology thing we'll do. We'll use Brennan and others like Brennan as case studies rather than me using my lived experience, because that can get a bit tedious for y'all. The monkeys eat that shit up too, so.
Clock in an iPhone. You can see all the productions of Dr. Welch's PowerPoint presentation where it shows that time, 12:31:43, has never changed. Also, it has been clear that both sides appreciate that there is a variance between the clock in the Lexus, which leads to that system information, and a clock in an iPhone. In fact, the defense was so aware of it, they hired an expert, Mr. DeSorga, who gave his opinions about that variance. We have never suggested there was not a variance in this case. In fact, we have highlighted the variance. When their expert, Mr. DeSorga, provided a report, we believe that his analysis was wrong. And so we looked at the variance and the data that was available from the telestream system and John O'Keefe's Waze data that was on his phone that was always available to all of the experts in both sides. And when Mr. Burgess looked at the variance at the time of a three-point turn about 7 minutes before the collision, he simply matched the Waze information on Mr. O'Keefe's phone to that of the information from the telestream and saw that it was a 21 to 29 second variance. All that data was available to the defense because their expert made an improper conclusion. It's not our fault. This does not change.
This is what I listen to things on.
They point to Jen McCabe's text message where she said she thought she saw a motor vehicle out front.
This is how I get
that
2 days of
at
trial
12:45.
every day.
That is not consistent with the Commonwealth timeline, but that doesn't change. That favors the defense. It does not change anything to do with ARPA. ARPA has not, as far as I've seen in any reports, ever talked about the variance, just Mr. DeSorga. And so because this is inconvenient for the defense, and because it further focuses the variance that we already discussed and provided, isn't a reason to exclude it. It's not late discovery. It's not a Rule 14 violation. It is further analysis of information that was already provided, opinions that were already provided, and it is in response to their expert's mistake about that variance. There's nothing new here. Nothing has changed.
Okay. Go right ahead, Mr. Alessi. The only question I had for you yesterday, for you to respond
Fuck off,
to,
Bev.
so I gave you more leeway. Go right ahead.
So, two items, Your Honor, because I alluded to yesterday, and it's
So
been
quiet.
a
Give me
point that
microphone,
Mr. Brennan
Bev.
just made. We believe strongly, Your Honor, that at a minimum there needs to be a voir dire of Mr. Burgess. And we believe strongly there needs to be a voir dire because we have a serious concern that the sequestration order has been violated. He has changed a very key aspect of this matter after the testimony of Mr. Whiffen, after Mr. Whiffen presenting a timeline. In his report, Mr. Burgess, his new purported report of May 8th, he references to align it with Mr. O'Keefe's cell phone. That is the essence of Mr. Whiffen's report, is anchoring in his timeline, did a whole timeline on Mr. O'Keefe's report. And conveniently,
I'm not so sure about that, Princey. I have a feeling that Hank Brennan has the power over Bev. I think whoever's paying Hank Brennan pays Bev and calls the shots. I don't know. Either way, they're working in concert with each other, aren't they, Brennan and Bev?
The proposed alteration by Mr. Burgess in his report of this clock
Like
drift
the title of
now
this is
makes it very, very
Alessi
close
versus
to
the
fitting within
gaslighting
Mr.
narcissist
Whitten's
and the
timeline and the
asshole.
theory of the
Bev being
prosecution.
the
At a minimum, we need a voir dire to ask Mr. Burgess, why did he do what he did? Another reason for the voir dire. Mr. Brennan yesterday said, we were surprised to get the report. That further makes great concern as to why Mr. Burgess did what he did. Lastly, Your Honor, with regard to Mr. Brennan's point, he made it yesterday and I corrected it. He said it again today, that supposedly our witness, Mr. DeSogra, made an error and that we're trying to correct an error of Mr. DeSogra. That is incorrect, Your Honor. Again, Mr. DeSogra was responding to Mr. Burgess's report. Mr. DeSogra's report is entirely saying, okay, Mr. Burgess says this, and therefore the defense says this. Now Mr. Burgess is changing what he is saying. So it is completely incorrect to say that Mr. DeSogra is trying to correct an error. That would require, again, Mr. DeSogra to change what he has done. Final point is this. There was also an issue, Your Honor, and this is extremely important with regard to burden shifting. There's not only the question of should this be allowed at all, there's not only the question of how much time the defense will need, but there's a third important issue, and that's burden shifting. What Mr. Brennan proposed yesterday was a very irregular—
Pause, LA, wait, what? For starters, I didn't know that, I didn't actually know that Grant Smith Ellis had a chat, so that's interesting. Oh my goodness, now why? Why, Mouse? You be scrolling, Simi scrolling, Simi hating. Scrolling. They were thirsting over, here it is. I found myself in Grant Smith Ellis's chat briefly. They were all thirsting on how hot Hanky is and how he's destroying the defense. I mean, I can see them echo chambering the shit out of that, destroying the defense, but hot? Yikes.
regular process where essentially the Commonwealth gets 3 bites at the apple for a problem that they caused. The problem we're talking about is Mr. Burgess changing a significant timeline. Yes, there was a variance that he had. He picked a range of the variance. He's now changing the variance. So what the Commonwealth is proposing is that our witnesses go forward, the aperture gets to wait, they come on, and then the aperture gets to come on yet again.
I did not understand the Commonwealth asking me that. Are you asking me to do that, Mr. Brennan?
I'm not sure what he's saying, so.
It sounds like DeBro.
I'm not sure what he's saying. Get the fuck out of here, you gaslighting piece of shit. Yes, Britt asked, doesn't the state pay them? I mean, technically, but I have some questions. I feel like given Hank Brennan's past, there's a high probability that someone else's, does anybody here know what the political affiliations are of Meatball Morrissey? And are perhaps those affiliations also linked in some way to the mob? Pure speculation here. But if the mob funded Breenun, not Alessi, sorry, sir. It's my brain. And if the mob has the same political ties as whoever Morrissey is in with, it's not a huge stretch for me to think that there's some, party payments, donations. I don't know. What do you think, chat? Am I off the mark there?
Broja or whatever.
His name is DeSoder, yes.
DeSoder, you're suggesting that the Commonwealth suggested yesterday that he testifies first and then the aperture witnesses?
What I understood was going to happen is Mr. Brennan said yesterday that Dr. Welcher cannot come in until after.
No, I didn't understand that. I understood Dr. Welcher, Shannon Burgess, and then Dr. Welcher for everything that you folks received prior, January 31st, whatever the date was. And then potentially.
I don't think that's Marietta Sullivan. Anybody? She was less Hispanic looking, more dark-haired Anglo. Am I right? Meanwhile, what's her name? Dougal? What's her first name? Sitting there with the fucking resting bitch face from hell. Ugh, can't believe they're allowed in the courtroom. Anyway, carry on, Mr. Alessi. So sorry that Bev's awful.
For all the new ARCA information that came in May 7th, that portion, Dr. Welcher returning on rebuttal for. Not that they were holding back Dr. Welcher completely. Is that correct, Mr. Brennan?
That's the conversation I had. That conversation I wasn't part of.
Yeah, I think you misunderstood that, Mr.
Pause. So I've been trying to run this down for a long time. I tried to run it down with James Jackson and JFK because I think that there's more to Alessi. Gosh, sorry. There's more to Breenun being here in this special prosecution position than simply no one else wanted the job, all the other potential attorneys, trial attorneys, and Hank Breenun goes, yeah, I'll fucking do it. Princey says the MSP and the Irish mafia are the same, in my opinion. No shade on low numbers, LA. That's more than we've got. Just saying. It's not a Sullivan. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Alessi, carry on. So sorry.
So just so I'm clear, what is it that the
Mr. Breenun, all right, this is separate, and I'd really like to give everybody a break here. What is it the Commonwealth is asking to do regarding that?
Regarding Mr. Burgess or Mr. Welcher?
Dr. Welcher.
Dr. Welcher should come in and testify to his PowerPoint, all of his opinions, which address all of the prior representations and opinions of ARCA, although we still don't have any raw information, but we're ready to move forward. Regarding any new opinions, which there is over a dozen new opinions that includes testing, video, experiments, Dr. Welcher should have enough time to review, conduct his own testing, turn it over, and then in rebuttal, address limited to the new issues raised by ARCA.
That's how I understood it, Mr. Alessi.
And that's how I did also. But the question is now with the Burgess changing of the clock drift, how many times is the Commonwealth proposing that Dr. Welcher gets to come in and talk about that? Is he just going to come in and talk about it?
So you talk with Mr. Breenun about that. All right, so I'm all set for this one.
There are no changes. There is no changes in the time.
He wouldn't even let Alessi have the last word, which was nice. Now he's again, there are no changes.
He's trying to portray this as something has changed. Nothing has changed. It's the exact same.
Bullshit.
He's always said there's a variance. He's been looking into the variance for
lies
a long time. And now he has found a method to show the exact variance. It's not changing. There's nothing in the reports that changes as far as the timeline. That's just an attempt to cause fear. There's nothing that has changed. We can look at the reports. It's all the same, always has been.
Bullshit.
Other than now he's identified the mistake of their expert, and that led him to be able to identify the variance, which is helpful and new. And the suggestion that there's been some violation of an order, no good faith basis whatsoever.
Does the Commonwealth oppose a voir dire just on that one issue?
Yes, because it's suggesting that there's a good faith basis for it. Nothing has. Ian Whiffin's report was available to the defense and our experts months and months and months ago. The issue of variance has been an ongoing issue for months. There's nothing that triggers a change in the testimony to adopt or adapt to it. Our timeline has been the same since when we turned it over at the beginning. They cannot point to one thing that has changed between Dr. Welcher, Ian Whiffin, Jessica Hyde, or Shannon Burgess. They are just saying things without a good faith basis.
Maybe.
In the reports, show us where something has
Throw
changed.
man the shit out of it.
Your Honor, to inform you, Your Honor, we would like to print the page in the clock adjustment because what Mr. Breenun says is
Yes, and I'm happy to any information. All right.
Okay. Cancel. No. Oy. All right. So now, I just wanted to go back to the comments about the union. I think you're all probably about right, in my opinion. I think you're all probably about right with that. Unions in Australia, at least, have got a kind of a heavy man vibe to them. Power in numbers. They are important for workers' rights. Strongly agree, but that comes at a price. So I don't think anybody's kind of too off the mark there. I think it's nuanced. It's not all bad and it's not all good. So that Steph says, I hate that man. I truly hate that man. Can I find the clip? Can I? Not in a timely manner.
Hate that man. I
There.
truly hate him.
Now, our girl, what the fuck, has found what am I doing here? Our girl has found the bit where we discover about the pieces. So motion to screen, what the fuck, and this is what will be what we will end on chat. We made it. My phone survived. I love you all very much.
Formed, you found that there were 10 different items, starting with the number 7, that were a mechanical fit to 3-1, the taillight housing from the defendant's vehicle, correct?
If it's 10 items, I can count them.
As far as
She's
all
going a
those
bit pink.
items, beginning with 7, that you,
sorry.
Went through or elucidated on your direct examination. Each of
Don't
those
use
were
elucidate,
mechanical
Lally.
fit to each other, and then to the taillight housing in 3-1.
The pieces that were previously stated, yes.
Nothing further.
So then, was that on the redirect? Ms. What the fuck? I guess it must have been, because surely they would have crossed on that? Yes. Bummer. So they could use that in arguments, they being the defense. Bummer. Bummer. Nick says unions are a cooperative that fights for workers' rights but attracts nefarious characters. Mob is 100% organized crime. Yes, I think that's a fair assessment with my limited knowledge, but my just vibes. Hey, so chat, thank you so much. I really appreciate your patience and understanding with the shit show that was tonight. Mods, thank you so much for being on the ready for multiple little snippets of streams. I really am happy that we ended up getting there in the end for, albeit a 3-parter, but a mega recap. Thank you so much to our girl, Motion to Scream, What the Fuck Granted, Ms. Her Royal Highness, Ms. For compiling all of that. I think the lawyer reacts are a good thing too, because we've all watched the testimony. We can watch a bit of the testimony. I think it's a great format. What do you think, chat? And thank you so much for doing everything. So couldn't do it without you, and I thoroughly appreciate you. Wait, it was a fun ride, Candy. You're very patient. Motion did do a great job. You are amazing, Miss Shorty. I'm just the puppet at the front at the moment. My mouse is not loving things. My mouse is just going, hey, the vibe is chaos. Let's chaos the shit out of it. Yes, motion. Chat is babe. You're also babe. Great format. Love. Thank you, Colors, for finding those articles. Kylie says, love it. Sometimes you just got to accumulate the rage. Love the reacts to testimony. Thank you for hanging at Camp Shorty. Yes. I love you all very much. There it is. Her Royal Highness, the Motion to Scream, the Duchess of Motion, the Marquess of Scream. Where's the what the fuck there? Queen what the fuck. There it is. Cheers, Joe Schmo. Peace out. Be well. Excellent work by the team. Hope the Wi-Fi is back soon. Same. Same. Now, what else? I think that's all we got. We got what have we got? Chatty's Bay back on, because we're finally at the end of it. The epic that was. Yes. You know what? She does everything. I'm like, what is it called? Fuck. I can't remember the psychological term. Something. Me, baby, Miss Shorty. Can't do it. Almost 50. I can't do it. Wait. Akasha, I was in my laundry room switching loads, yelling at Stanky to shut the fuck up. Right. Her Majesty, what the fuck? Good night, friends. Have a fantastic week. Enjoy your Sunday tomorrow. I'm going to finish my wine and pour another one because yikes. Take my clip out. Thank you. Hey, wait. First, let me just change this here. Background to be this one. And on that, as we always say, thank you, chat. Chat is bae. I love you all very much. And free Karen Reed. Mwah!
I love you all so very much. We had a blast just chatting and stuff. Things may have gone a bit off the rails. Professional when all else fails. 'Cause chat is babe, so much to say. Emotes and all the caps out. May have been cheese, bit faster please. The time has come, Camp Shorty out. narcissistic twats. 'Cause Chad is bae, so much to say. Emotes and all the all caps out. May have been cheese, bit fast to please. The time has come, Camp Shorty out. Community, just you and me. Occasionally, Buster and Poppy. It's a whole thing, Miss Shorty swing. Together we make each other happy. 'Cause Chad is